Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. You are about to experience some immersive theatre, but only you who are sitting down will know this. It hasn't started yet, but you'll see. Well, I will be playing a role, and the people who are walking past won't know that I'm playing a role. We invite you to get involved whatever way you want, as long as it is non-violent. All verbal responses are accepted. You may say whatever you want to me. I will not be offended. Oh yes, sir. Want to have a go? Would you like to have a go at offending me? Come on. Ladies and gentlemen, before I start the show, this is the opportunity you're going to have. I'll give you as many as you need. If someone would like to try and offend me, this is your opportunity. Anybody? Just get it out of the system. What's that?
You voted Tory.
I voted Tory. Yeah, really. That doesn't offend me.
Why did you vote Tory?
Why did I vote Tory? That doesn't affect me.
Fight against the sausages.
It doesn't affect me. It's just, I mean, it's just that, just, why should it offend me? It just shows the way your mind works. There's nothing offensive about it.
Tell me how my mind works.
Tell you how your mind works? I'm not going to tell you how your mind works for free. I am a psychotherapist, and we charge £95 for the first session and £120 for each session afterwards, 50 minutes strictly.
I've got £95.
You're 95, get it out. And we can start looking at how your mind works. From the looks of things, not very well. Sorry about that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, in my many years working as a doctor, I have decided to come and tell you the truth about how brutal it is in hospital looking after people as unhealthy as you lot. Ladies and gentlemen,
I've just eaten a donut.
just eaten a donut, oh dear. Another diabetes case for us. Ladies and gentlemen, what the government doesn't tell you, surprise, surprise, I wonder why, is that actually the overwhelming majority of people that died last year, overwhelming majority of them, yeah, died from other things. Yes? And they died, many of them, earlier than they would have done, because ultimately, of course, the biggest factor in whether they died early or not is poverty. And poverty is only possible in a system where there's money and people right at the top who have got control of the majority of it. And they're the ones that are creating all the problems with this system, fictional system of money. And poverty is reducing the lifespan of millions of people every day.
Millions.
Yeah, includes billions, exactly billions of people every day, including people in this country as well, of course. So whilst they're doing that, day in, day out, with their monetary system, or shenanigans, their fake monetary system, they're just distracting us. They're distracting us from the brutal truth. So I'm here from hospital to tell you that it's brutal out there, and that you can do your bit for mankind and your unborn children by not having them.
Okay, we know all that.
What do you mean we know all that? Have you had children? Have you had children?
I'm asking you.
No. Have you had children?
Yes.
Why? Why did you do it?
What are you gonna
Where
do?
are they now?
What are you going to do about it?
What am I going to do about it? Well, I'm a doctor. I'm going to talk about it and recommend that everybody has a vasectomy. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as a working doctor, I can tell you that I've decided to leave the NHS to devote my life to giving vasectomies to those people that most need them.
Ready?
You've had it already?
Yeah. I'm ready.
You ready for yours? Okay, I'm not going to do it here and now. That wouldn't be right. We need to be in a sterile environment. And ladies and gentlemen, after many years of working in the NHS, I have now devoted my time to giving as many men a vasectomy as possible, which will do far more than any injection could ever do. The best that the COVID injection can do, even according to the people who sell it like hell. Jesus, they are good salesmen, those pharmaceutical reps, they're damn good they are. I mean, I don't know, the pharmaceutical industry, look what they managed to sell. Amazing. But the best thing that injection can do is to maybe stop you getting symptoms of a disease or many diseases. That's the best thing it can do. But a vasectomy will prevent your children from having any diseases and dying. And if you don't have a vasectomy, there's a chance that you're going to inflict an awful life on someone else, because think about it, who would want you to be their mum or dad?
Good point.
Exactly. At least you admit it.
What are you going to do about the 20,000 Afghans?
What am I going to do about the 20,000 Afghanis that they're allowing into the country? See, they're not the important ones. The 20,000 Afghanis, by the way, which the government, what I love about the government is that they make things so obvious, yeah, that they're crooks, and nobody notices, right? But the government has said they're allowed to come in, but they have to make their own way here. They're allowed to come in the country, they have to make their own way here on a paddle boat. You see, you don't need to worry about them, that's only 20,000. Do you know how many people immigrated to this country last year? Do you know how many people?
No.
670,000 people emigrated through their mothers' uteruses into this country. They landed in this country. Yeah? 670,000 new problems, new sets of problems that are going to end up, to start off very cute, but end up like this. Right? They're the immigrants we need to be worried about. And that's why I'm here, ladies and gentlemen, as a practicing doctor, and I am devoting my life to giving as many men a vasectomy as possible. Have you had a vasectomy, sir? Where's the camera? Where's the camera? Have you had a vasectomy, sir?
I haven't got a car, sorry.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I beg your pardon, you shouldn't have told me that. It's too much information. So ladies and gentlemen, here, just to remind you, you can get a free vasectomy on the NHS, still available while stocks last. If I were you, I'd get one now, because during lockdown, they stopped giving out vasectomies, which would be a terrible thing for your unborn children, wouldn't it? Let's think about it. So, can I offer you a vasectomy, sir? Would you like a vasectomy? Not now. I mean, you know, obviously under the correct conditions. I'm not suggesting you should have one now. What about you, sir? Vasectomy? Would you like one? Would you like a vasectomy? You're alright? You're alright for vasectomies? Fair enough. Vasectomy, sir. Have you thought of having a vasectomy? Why not? Ladies and gentlemen, disarm your weapon. Gentlemen, COVID is a distraction. And when you go into the COVID story, you think that COVID or the government or something is responsible for all your problems. No, it's not true. It's your parents. They are the cause of all your problems. Especially you, sir. Your parents. That's why you're wearing a mask outside. The root primary cause of all human problems is the production of humans. It's simple. COVID is not a threat to humanity. Humans are a threat to humanity. Particular ones are the ones, not the politicians, because they're just acting. Yeah? They're kind of a threat to humanity, because humanity is so damn stupid that they actually believe the politicians are for real, but they're not. They're just acting, right? So, but they're not the ones that are really doing anything other than just acting in front of the screens, right? But the people behind it, yeah, that's where, you know, once you've realised it's your parents, once you're here, the people behind the scenes are the ones that are doing all the naughty things, aren't they? That's right. So there is something you can do about it, ladies and gentlemen. Not all hope is lost, and that's why I'm here, having spent many years as an NHS doctor. I've now devoted my time to promoting and offering people vasectomies. So, would you like a vasectomy? Why not? What? Yes, but it will be good for you. It will mean that you won't accidentally create another human being, or even on purpose, for that matter. No? It'll save you a lot of money and a lot of time. No? Alright, fair enough. But they are free on the NHS at the moment, so they might not always be free, ladies and gentlemen. Please understand that the way this Conservative government are going, it could be that one day you'll have to pay for vasectomies. So get one now while they're free, sir.
No vaccine, no.
What about vasectomy?
No, I want my balls.
No, you can keep your balls. Ladies and gentlemen, if you think that they take your balls off with your vasectomy, you need to do a little bit of research. It only takes about 3 minutes. Just read up on it. No, they don't do that. You can keep those. Don't know what the use they're going to be to you, but anyway. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you're never too young to have a vasectomy. So please, tell everybody the good news about vasectomies, ladies and gentlemen. Think how much money a vasectomy can save you. I mean, only the gentlemen, by the way, obviously. Have you had a vasectomy, sir? Why not? What? Ladies and gentlemen, after working so many years in the NHS, I saw such terrible things. I saw children who were sick. I saw adults who were sick mentally and physically. I saw injuries and accidents. I saw all sorts of illness. And of course, I saw COVID. Which is why I'm here to just ask you to please prevent your children from experiencing this. If you do produce people, if you produce a human being or two, they could end up in one of the hospitals I work with one of the horrible illnesses or accidents. And there's no guarantee that that won't be your child. So I'm here to ask you, please, on behalf of your unborn children, just leave them alone. Let them be in peace, so that they don't have to go through this whole strange game of life, which nobody wins in the end. Yeah? And you can spend all your money the way you want to spend it. I mean, I could save you hundreds of thousands, if not millions of pounds, sir. Would you not be interested if I could save you millions of pounds, sir? You're not interested, sir, if I could save you millions? Nobody interested? So would you like to save millions of pounds? Would you like to save hundreds of thousands of pounds, sir? You don't spend that much, I know you don't at the moment, but if you have a vasectomy, you can save yourself hundreds of thousands of pounds. You're going to have one on the train? Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, I am here to help you save money. As an ex-NHS doctor, I decided to devote my life to promoting vasectomies. So, have you thought of having a vasectomy? Sir, with the mask on. Have you had a vasectomy? Have you had a vasectomy? Did you know that they're available for free on the NHS? trying to help you, son. I could save you hundreds of thousands of pounds and a lot of heartache. Have you, sir, had a vasectomy, sir? Why not? What do you do? It's free on the NHS. Why are you waiting? Do you want to force somebody into existence that's got half your genes? You don't know if they're going to be the good half or the bad half, and half your partner's genes, you don't know if they're the good half or the bad half, and then it's actually not really half, some fraction, and then like all the genes of all your ancestors, God only knows what they were, right? So do you want that? Do you want that to happen? You're not really bothered. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is not an appropriate answer. What do you mean you're not really bothered? Yeah, you may not really be bothered, but your child will be. I certainly would be bothered if you were my dad. Nature in it. Well, yes, except the difference between human animals and other animals is that human animals don't just do things because they're natural, do they? I'm sure that you sometimes don't do things even though they might come naturally. Am I right? Yes, you stop yourself from... yes, that's right. So, therefore, that's not an excuse. And this is why I'm trying to help you to save you lots of money. All I'm asking for is for you to commit, have yourself a vasectomy. You can book it in with me. I've got a system here on my phone. And then, in a year's time, when you realise how much money I've saved you, you can give me a few percent. But we'll leave that as voluntary, I don't know. I won't insist on it. So would you like to save a few £100,000, sir? Yeah? Not interested?
I've had it done and it doesn't save me any money.
It didn't save you any money, yeah, because you had it done too late. Didn't you?
No.
You should have had it done before then. No? Really? Come on, tell us the truth. They're teenagers. Come on, we know. They cost him a fortune. They cost him hundreds of thousands of pounds, those kids. And they haven't finished yet, but they haven't finished with him yet. Can I interest you in a vasectomy, sir? Vasectomy, sir? Free on the NHS, ladies and gentlemen. I am here to promote vasectomies, which is the answer to all of our problems. If everybody in this country, instead of being vaccinated, which wasn't really a vaccine, instead of being injected, if everybody had been, if all the men had had a vasectomy, we would have seen a massive decline in every type of disorder, illness and accident there is on this planet. From child abuse to depression, from cancer to heart disease, from ugly people to annoying people, from lawyers to PR consultants, all of these things would be reduced if we just pushed the vasectomy program forward properly and offered people incentives and also took away some of their freedoms. I think that men should not be allowed into nightclubs until they can prove they've had a vasectomy. That will keep the ladies safe, to some extent at least. I think men should not be allowed on the train unless they can prove they've had a vasectomy. That will keep the women safe, at least to some degree. Have you had a vasectomy, sir? You ever thought about it? Can I recommend it? A lot of people have never even thought about having a vasectomy. So have you ever thought about having a vasectomy? You have now, haven't you? What do you think? Good idea? Yes, I think so. This guy here definitely needs one. He's too good looking. Have you had a vasectomy? I think it's dangerous you going around looking like that without having a vasectomy, sir. Have you had a vasectomy, sir?
Yes.
Fantastic. Excellent. Good man. Ladies, this is the type of man you want to run after. Someone that's had the decency to to disarm themselves. Unlike this guy here, I won't go anywhere near him, ladies, this guy here. He's not bothered. He's not bothered if he has a child. You're not bothered. I mean, you will be bothered when you do have a child, I can assure you. Wah, wah, wah. That will be the beginning of it.
More children the better.
The more children, the better? Really? Why is that?
Because it gives you a fulfilling life.
Because it gives you a fulfilling life, which makes you a bit of a narcissist, doesn't it, really? Because you're using a child to have a good life. Can't you get a good life another way? Can't you, like, become, I don't know, a neuroscientist, for example? You can have a really good life. Yeah? Why do you have to impose life on other people? I wouldn't want you to be my dad. Just so that you can have a fulfilling life. How dare you? If you want a fulfilling life, adopt a child, by all means. If you think you have to have a child to have a fulfilling life, or you can have my children. Have you had a vasectomy, sir? Why not? What's that? Are you going to have children? Why? Please don't. I'll be your best friend. Ladies and gentlemen, after many years in the NHS, I have now devoted my life to reminding men that they can get a free vasectomy on the NHS, to drive forward our plan to stop the flow of immigration into this country by way not of Afghanistan. By the way, the government read out the script that the government read out yesterday. I mean, you've got to give it to the guy that read it out. I must look at it because it's just brilliant. He basically said that they're going to allow 20,000 immigrants from Afghanistan, but they have to get there on their own. Do you know what I mean? It's like, how do you pull that one off without just like breaking down into bouts of laughter? I mean, how exactly are they going to get here on their own? Do you think this guy would survive trying to get from Afghanistan to here on his own? He would? Where would you get your sushi from and all that? Because the real problem of immigration is the landing of 700,000 new people onto the shores of the coast, onto the shores of Britain, in the form of babies. These babies come into this country useless. They can't do anything. They can't fend for themselves. They're just leeches, a lot of them. And we have to pay for them. And they come into this country, 700,000 of them every year. Here's another one. Hello. Very cute though. They're very cute, right? Don't get me wrong. They're always very cute when they're that size, but then they end up like these guys here. Sorry. Just a bit straight in the face nappy on it. As a doctor, I don't think it's very healthy to do that at the outside. Does everyone take that off, maybe? Restricting your breath for no good reason? Have you been vaccinated, madam? No? Wow. What a brave woman. Brave woman. So, ladies and gentlemen, many people here are not aware that you can get free vasectomies on the NHS. And I personally got mine a few months ago. A few years too late, but better late than never. And it was really fine. I got a free Uber there and a free Uber back, which is what the government have been offering for people to take the vaccination. But I think that we need to promote vasectomies because a lot of men have never even thought about it. Have you ever thought about having a vasectomy, sir?
No.
Yes? What about you two over here? Have you had a vasectomy yet? Why not? You don't want one, why not? Well, you want to walk around with a dangerous weapon of mass destruction that could end up creating another human being Do you know what I mean? With all the human beings that are already here, and they could end up really ill and in my hospital. I've seen some terrible things in hospital. Accidents, you know, deformations and illnesses, and young children having terrible illnesses, you know, and dementia, terrible dementia. So if you don't disarm your weapon, you could create dementia. How do you feel about that? Do you want to create dementia? Do you want to create cancer? Do you know the chances of you creating cancer if you don't disarm that? Do you know what they are? 1 in 2. Yeah. So that's why, you know, just because you don't want to, does not necessarily mean that it's the right decision. You understand? Yeah. Just be careful with your wants. You know, go a little deeper. Which is why you know, if you do accept a vasectomy today, if you at least sign up to it with me on my, you know, I've got a form you can fill in, yeah? I will give you a free pizza. Would you like a pizza? No? That's not going to do it? Because the government are offering pizzas for vaccinations, aren't they? Which is quite weird, isn't it? A bit weird. Anyway, any questions, anybody? No? No questions at all? Alright, fair enough. Enjoy the rest of the afternoon.